we're gonna be legends. What we're doing here ain't just scary. It's about to be legendary.
The reason why I like you to start with single family is why. Guys, why isn't it multifamily? Why isn't it multi-million-dollar commercial deals? Why? Guys, when you're brand new, do you want it hard or easy? Yeah, so in this game of real estate, I want to start you with the easiest thing. The easiest thing is going to be single-family homes. They're going to take the least time, the least risk, the least effort. It's going to work in up and down markets, and they are the most profitable, okay? Does that mean that I don't like multifamily? No. Do I do multifamily? I do. Why don't I talk about it a whole lot? Because I got to meet you where you can start. And right now, your belief on a $100,000 or $200,000 project is very different than a multi-million-dollar project. How many of you get this? I'm not telling you that this is the best system in the world. I'm going to tell you this is the best system for someone that is new to the game and needs the carefulest entry point to create a lot of money. And by the way, you may never graduate from what I'm sharing because does it work? I got my buddy Sterling here. Sterling, we got started how long ago? Give this man a microphone.
Thank you.
How long ago did we get started?
About 8 years ago, I think, 9 years ago.
Awesome. And in the last 9 years, how much money did you personally start with?
None.
And how much money have you made?
Well, it's not sitting in my bank account, but if you added it up, it would be like 3.7.
Can you give me a digit? Is that a
3.7 million?
$3.7 million, folks. And now I just want to ask you, do you have a very special multifamily deal that you want me to review later?
Yeah, it's very special.
Yeah. Started in single family, still slaying it in single family, and because he's got money, what is he now doing? He's got some other opportunities. And I'm never going to use the word graduate because graduate might imply that single family is inferior. I want to ask you, is it? No. It's actually just different. What is it? Different. Here's the biggest difference between single family and multifamily. If you do it right, they both have really high ROIs. Single family has a lower cash flow component and a higher growth component. Multifamily has a higher cash flow component and a lower growth component. And it all more or less averages out. So when I work with someone and we do a pile of single family and we get enough that we can trade into multifamily, that's, you're okay. I didn't tell you to sit down.
I'm right here.
My friend. When we transition into multifamily is when the investor says, I've grown enough asset base because cash flow was not the most important consideration. And I'm telling you right now, it's not. It's growing and multiplying your assets, and then when you sink that into multifamily, then you can double your cash flow, and in some situations even triple it. Does this make sense? Yes. So it's a strategy, and I want you to start where I know you can slay it. Does that make sense? Yes. Awesome, guys, give it up for my friend one more time. Congratulations, dude. Winter is coming. What does that mean? What's going to happen in the economy? How many of you understand that this is predictable cycles and nothing to be afraid of? When the market crashed, I was safe. All of my existing property was safe because of rules I'm going to give you right now. But I'm going to tell you right now, I cannot wait for the next market crash. Why? Friends, when you're buying homes in my price range, we've got a high degree of safety. But when the market for homes that are $300,000 that are above the median, when they tank, they drop to what? They can drop in half, and in some markets even more. And when that happens, the people in that market, when their home values have got chopped in half, where's their confidence at? High or low? Are they happy or sad? Absolutely. And as a result, understand that people's investment and buying decisions are based on the emotions, which is why I'm teaching you how to be emotionally intelligent, because I'm telling you right now, when everyone is crying like crazy over here, that is the place where what exists? Friends, we all getting together. I promise I'll be dropping a YouTube video that says, you've been waiting for it. It's the day. It's time to mobilize. Hit the red button. Go, 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 go. We can be parachuting in teams of people. My biggest mistake is when I went into Phoenix and Vegas, I only did 3,000. I only did 3,000 homes. In the last 5 years, my investors made over $70 million. I was young and I was foolish. Next time, instead of doing thousands of homes, I'll do what Warren Buffett did. And Blackstone Corporation in 1 year competed against me, and when I was buying 1,000 homes, they bought how many? 40,000. So I'm just telling you, when it comes again, you want to make sure you are subscribed on my channel, that you got that video and you're like, all right, Kris put the 411 out. It's time, we're mobilized. It's time for us to get going. Because I'm going to tell you, right now with winter coming, now is the time to what? Now's the time to prepare. Now is the time to buy real estate the safe way. It's the smart way. It's time to grow your asset base so that when that happens, you can what? You can shift gears. Here's what we're talking about. Out of 30 strategies for me, for someone who's brand new, and by brand new I mean net worth under $1 million, and you want to grow it as aggressively as possible. Single family homes, it's 3 bedrooms, 1 bathrooms. I'm going to give you a little bit of detail on this. It's never a 2-bedroom. Why? There's a massive price fluctuation between a 2 and a 3. 3-bedroom also equals stability. 2-bedroom usually equals family, no kids. So 3 bedrooms, 1 bath is the minimum. I usually hold these homes for 3, 5, 7 years. 5 is the average. It could be longer. It depends on the market cycle. If the market cycle shifts one way, we're going to be in longer. If it's actually moving fast, it's going to be shorter. When I bought a pile of homes in Phoenix, I was there for 3 years. I sold them, and I was making about 35% a year on my money. By the way, is that good? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it means in 3 years I doubled my money. What's 35 times 3 years? It's 100%. You get that? By the way, how long will it take you to double your money if you're making 4%? Doesn't matter. You're too old to remember. Okay, I buy below the median. How many of you come from LA, New York, or places where real estate is crazy expensive? Awesome. You're not going to be buying in those areas. You're going to be buying in the suburbs. You're going to be buying outside of those markets. I want you to be buying below the median. Why? What does the median really mean? Not just safety. What does it mean? It means that if you were to take a bell curve of people buying $1 million homes and condos and everything in the middle, the median is the top of that bell curve. You can look at it this way. It's like what the average person more or less can't afford. If I'm over the median, the bell curve moves like this, by the way. Looks like that. Which is why I don't go above the median, because like right here, this is, let's say, one of my $1 million homes. How many people are in the market for $1 million home? There's not very many. I'm not telling you that it's bad or wrong, that you shouldn't do it. I just think that when you're brand new, it's not the smart play. Over here, we might have our condos and townhomes. I want to be below the median because this is where the most what are. This is where the most people are, which means you can buy a house, you can move a house, you can make good, smart decisions. So if you live in too rural of an area or you live in an area priced too much over the median, I don't want you to be in those markets. We want to move you into different markets. Sometimes we look at, well, am I looking at equity in the home? Friends, the biggest number, the most important number that tells the entire story is what's called an ROI. What is it? ROI. Stands for? Why is 15% my minimum, would you guess? You could say it takes 6 years to double your money, but 15% with compound interest is usually closer to 5. And that's just the standard. You have to have a minimum threshold. Bottom line is, my money's sitting in my bank account earning 0.2%. And then I put it over here and it's earning 15%. Where is it happier? Is the risk. But the greater risk is doing, so which means you're looking for intelligent risk. I'm going to tell you guys right now, the economy can appear on the outside to be complicated, But in reality, it has key indicators that move it. And fortunately, real estate is not like the stock market. Every year, 8 years, the stock market averages a reset, which means that if you're in the stock market, you're in for a 30-year ride. There's no short-term real estate there is no short-term stock market investment unless you become a day trader or something like that, because here's what will happen. When the market recovers, for the first 3 years, all you're doing is getting back to zero. And you've lost how much time? 3 years that you could have spent making 15%. Then the next 2 of the 8 years are boring. It's just like, meh. And then the last couple of years, the market what? It skyrockets. And when it skyrockets, everyone becomes idiotic. Put money in the stock. I'm so, like, they don't get it. They don't get that 2 years later, all of it's gonna wash. They're gonna lose it all and wait 3 years just to recuperate and get back to even. Does this make sense? Now, by the way, am I saying that the stock market is a bad investment? No, if you really want to have patient money sitting in there for 30 years, you can have that S&P average just shy of 10%. I personally, 10% returns on average, put me on too slow of a pace for my concept of financial freedom. But then again, I'm an extremist, right? Like, I want my financial freedom now. Give me a 5-year plan. I want a 30-year plan. I don't want your 40-year plan. I want to figure out, doesn't mean I want it tomorrow, but it's like, hey, what do I got to do to accelerate this thing? Who's with me?